welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box. And then there were four. It's the Game Week 28 review. Apologies if I cough and splutter during this video, but man flu has descended on Family Fantasy Football League HQ, but the show must go on. One manager, just the one manager, went into the transfer market in game week 28. In this edition of Banter in the Box, we have got your game week 28 winners and losers, your normal player review, FFFL Cup review. Last weekend saw the quarterfinals of the Family Fantasy Football League Cup for the first time. I will be revealing the scores and the semi-final lineup. And we got a manager of the season update. It was worth 6 manager of the season points. Did anyone get it right? All will be revealed. So your game week 28 winners, take a bow. No happy endings, manager. Di Maloney climbed another place up to 15th in the table. Di hasn't been as high as 15th since game week 22. And take a bow, Legends 23 manager Keith Simons climbed one place to 5th with a 5th weekly win of the season. 89 points scored by Keith, which was a joint personal highest weekly total. And 5th place is a season high for Keith, who is now just 2 weekly wins behind me in the race for the most weekly wins in a season prize money. 1 manager of the season point to those two. Your game week 28 losers, hang your head in shame. The big Boston Cogless manager Niall Ponsford fell another place down to 6th. You have to go back to game week 3 for the last time Niall was as low as 6th in the table. And the biggest game week 28 loser, the Willow Tree Winners, ironic name, Joe Hoxby, lowest scorers in game week 28 with just 26 points, which left her rooted to the bottom of the table. Your player review here are the top goalkeepers. Another great week for David Raya, who is well out in front as the #1 goalkeeper in the Family Fantasy Football League. A good week for Allison as well, who moved up to 6th in the goalkeeper chart, and a good week for Martinez of Villa, who moved up to 8th. And Martinez is still available for transfer, and it's only £8 million. And Villa are in the Europa League quarter-finals. Food for thought for anyone who's thinking about changing their goalkeeper. Top defenders, good week for the Arsenal pair, Gabriel and Saliba. And a good week for Van Dijk, who's gone second in the high scoring defenders. And a good week for Tarek Mitchell of Crystal Palace, who moves into the top 10, and he is still available for transfer at £13 million. Nunez is also still available for transfer, 8th best defender in the competition, and he's only 10 million. Top midfielders, Szoboszlai had an excellent week, 15 points as he moves second in the midfielder chart. Only one manager's got him in their team as well. A good week for Declan Rice of Arsenal. 4 managers have got him, and a good week for Anthony Gordon of Newcastle. 10 points. Only one manager has got him. As far as top midfielders go, Zubamendi still available for transfer, the 11th best midfielder in the competition. £19 million is expensive, but you get what you pay for, guys. And the top strikers. Great week for Erling Haaland, who is still the highest scoring player in the competition, and a good week for Thiago of Brentford. Good week for Ekitike of Liverpool. Only one manager's got him. And a good week for Gyökeres of Arsenal. 6th best striker in the competition, and he is still available for transfer at 25 million. Mateta, back from injury, still available for transfer. Only 20 million, and Palace in the Europa Conference League, quarterfinals, and Walter of Newcastle still available for transfer, admittedly coming at a premium, £26 million. So, FFFL Cup quarterfinals last weekend, as per the rules. The first full Premier League fixture weekend in March sees the quarterfinals, and that was last weekend. And this was the lineup And here are your scores. The lowest placed team still in the competition, Anders FC, 9. The cup holders, the Creed Bratton Society, 43. I thought the Creed Bratton Society would edge it. They won convincingly. League leaders, Grease Lightning, runners-up in the cup last season, 43. Error 404, 30. I thought Grease Lightning would edge it, but in the end they won it comfortably. Fifth place, Legends 23, 43. Sixth place, the big Bostocoglis, 47. It's the big Bostocoglis that progresses. And Chairman's Choice, 34, fourth in the table. Played third in the table, Rayleigh Rovers, 33. I just edged it. I thought my brother would beat me, but I knew it would be close, and I just managed to edge it. So, your semi-final lineup, we'll see. The cup holders, the Creed Bratton Society, going up against league leaders, Grease Lightning, in a repeat of last year's Family Fantasy Football League Cup final. And sixth place, the big Bostocoglis, face off against fourth placed Cup specialists, Chairman's Choice. That semi-final lineup will happen in the first full Premier League fixture weekend in April. Who the fuck is that? Two current Family Fantasy Football League managers pictured there, and if you could tell me both managers, you would get 6 Manager of the Season points. No points for getting one of them. I'll only give the points if you got both managers correctly. Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby thought that that was a picture of Masters of None manager Jack Hoxby and the Willow Tree Winners manager Joe Hoxby. Sarah Goodwin thought that that was a picture of Masters of None manager Jack Hoxby and Gobi Desert Canoe Club manager Pops Hoxby. And Mark Benwell thought that that was a picture of Masters of None manager Jack Hoxby and Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby. I can reveal none of those answers were correct. So the manager of the season table looks like this, not much change. Keith Simons closes the gap on 18th place for being a game week 28 winner. Joe Hoxby drops to joint 14th for being a game week 28 loser. Di Maloney climbs to 13th for being a game week 28 winner. Niall Ponsford drops to joint 7th for being a game week 28 loser. But it is still Sarah Goodwin 3 points out in front. So we are rolling it over. It's now worth 8 Manager of the Season points if you can tell me which 2 current Family Fantasy Football League managers are pictured there. No points for getting one of them right. You have to get both right to get the 8 points. Confirmation Family Fantasy Football League Presentation Awards takes place on Saturday the 6th of June at FFFL HQ, kicking off at 1 p.m. as per the rules issued at the start of the season. And this date has been in every single banter in the box. And for those of you who are part of the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group, you have been invited to the event on Facebook. So that is your game week 28 review. League Cup final this weekend. Arsenal take on Man City. Remember, double points for Manchester City and Arsenal players this week. But until next week, guys, take care. Bye-bye.